Morning, everyone. We have a small group of friends also here and some other people from webinar stores who joined us. Thank you for taking time out on this beautiful Sunday morning. I hope you've had your breakfast and you've had your morning cup of coffee. Today's topic is very interesting. It's something that I hold very dear to my heart and something that I have practiced myself as well as I have spoken about in my sessions in various corporates and academic institutions as well. So, to give you an idea why this topic is important for all of us, um, oh, they've stopped my video. They've started it again. Thank you. Don't stop my video again. You might want to stop yours and just keep mine. All right. So, uh, why this topic is really important is there is a book by Marshall Goldsmith which says, "What got you here will not get you there." So, whatever we have achieved till date in life, whether it's in the professional realm or whether it's in the personal realm, it's only because we have a certain skill set or a certain temperament which has brought us till this stage. Now, if we aspire to go to the next level, you will have to change gears at some stage in your life. Otherwise, you generally, post 30s, you generally feel a sense of stagnation and a sense of complacency that sets in, and then you feel that, you know what, I'm not learning anything new, I'm not growing, I'm not probably making as much money as I want, I'm not really doing the kind of work that I enjoy, I'm not meeting the kind of people who excite me. And that's not a very nice feeling, or that's not a very nice place to be in mentally. And then people generally have a sense of hopelessness that develops, and then they don't realize what is the problem and how can they get out of it. So, to address that issue, webinars like this are very helpful. And I have prepared my points in such a manner today that the 6, 7 points that I'm going to share with you through the next 60 minutes will probably be practical and helpful to you if you're able to implement them correctly. So, I'm going to get started. The first thing to know is, a lot of us, if we are asked the question, I asked this question in several organizations. I said, what do you think is our greatest problem in life? So I get answers like, we are very emotional, or I get answers like, we judge people too fast, or money is a big problem, or the lack of time is a big problem. These are generally the answers that people give. But our greatest problem in life is actually not knowing what the real problem is, right? Kunal, can you move me to the speaker now so I can be the speaker view? Otherwise, the screen is split between you and me for some reason. And just till while I am speaking, if you can switch off your video, then I can be the speaker. I suppose that's how it works. If that's okay with you. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, having said that, what we need to understand is what is our real problem. Many a times, what we end up doing is we start addressing what we know as symptoms and not the real problem. Like, for example, when we teach public speaking, and I ask people, who have fear of the stage or who have fear of public speaking, I ask them what is their greatest problem, and then they say, "Well, sir, I have a confidence issue. I am not very confident about going and standing on stage, or I am nervous." But these are symptoms of a certain problem. These are not the actual problems. And so I tell them the problems can be probably stemming from fear. In this case, there are four types of fear which typically govern human psychology. Say one is the fear of rejection, two is the fear of failure, three is the failure of the unknown, and four is, of course, the fear of death. So I said one of these fears is governing your ability and inhibiting you from going on stage and speaking well. So it's probably the fear of failure, it's the fear of the unknown, or fear of rejection, saying that how will I look? Will my English be as eloquent as I need it to be? Or will my body look, confident enough? Will people appreciate me? So a lot of these things, once you start digging down, you will actually come to know what the real problem is. Saying if I fix my spoken English, if I fix my pronunciation, if I fix how I look, if I fix these things, will my fear reduce? So first point that I wanted to share with all of you was that henceforth, when we approach anything, start asking yourselves that I need to change my thinking first. Am I addressing the problem or am I addressing the symptom? Once you know that, then you will actually have a greater chance of success of fixing anything. So, first point today was problem versus symptom. The second point for today is that a lot of discussions that we have with each other are based on incidences that have happened in the past. So, we'll talk about he did that and she did this, and this is what happened in the past. And those conversations are generally inconclusive. You'll never reach a stage where you'll finally come to a logical conclusion and saying that no, we need to sort it out. And this is the resolution. For that, what we need to have is issue based conversations. So when you say I'm having an issue based conversation with someone, it is very different to an incident based conversation. So in an issue based conversation, you will ask yourselves several questions. Is it a trust issue? Do we not trust each other? If the trust is broken, then do we need to work towards rebuilding it? Two, is it an intent issue? Does the person not want to do it? If they don't want to do it, then what is the reason? Are they scared about something, or they don't feel there is value in it? Three, is all about capability. Does the person not have the capability to do something? And do they need adequate training? Do they need to be handheld for something? Do they need certain mentoring? Then you have opportunity. Well, if the person wants to do it, they have the capability to do it, but they don't have the opportunity to do it. Or maybe they don't have a platform to do it. So that is another thing. And the last one is effort. So when you're actually asking yourselves what is the issue, these are some of the things to keep in mind. Number one is trust. Number two is intent. Number three is capability. Number four is opportunity. And number five is most important is effort. Saying everything is there, but then the basic effort was not there. The person doesn't come on time. Doesn't put in the work. He doesn't have the professionalism, etc., etc. So that's the effort. So we have to change. When we say we are reinventing ourselves, we have to move from having incident based conversations and gravitate towards having issue based conversations. So this was the second point that I wanted to share. And once you have these parameters in front of you, it becomes easier to evaluate where the person is actually missing out on. You know, if it's a capability issue, if it's an opportunity issue, like for example, somebody wants to play a particular sport, they're pretty good at it, they want to do it, but if nobody's selecting them in a match, it's going to be a little difficult to find success. Or if somebody wants to be a trainer, and but they're not able to train, maybe they don't have the personality to train, or they don't have the kind of skill set required to conduct a training program, then it's going to be a little difficult to find success in the training program, even if you get the opportunity. Or if the basic effort is lacking, there also you will have an issue. So try and have these conversations with people nowadays on issue based things. What happens with incident based conversations is that we go too much into the past, and there is no coming back from there. So for example, I don't know how many of you have seen this movie called this cartoon flick called Kung Fu Panda. There is a very beautiful dialogue in that which says the past is history, the future is a mystery, and the current moment is a gift, and that is why it is called the present. So try and live in the present moment, try and enjoy that moment and have conversations about what we can do now rather than what we did in the past. This is a very important point about changing yourselves, rediscovering yourselves. This in corporate life, or generally in any management parlance, is called adult like conversations, where today we are not able to have those adult like conversations with each other, where both of us are able to sit down in front of each other and talk about our issues and say, well, what is wrong, what is missing, how can we fix it, these are my concerns, let me put them in front of you, let me understand your concerns, and let us try and understand them, and let us find a mutual ground. So even if we can't agree on anything, at least we can agree to disagree. And that is a very important part of a person changing and coming to a new version of themselves. Many a times we bring the same way we talk at home into the workplace, or the same way we conduct ourselves in college or in business school, we bring the same kind of behavior at the workplace. And that casualness ensures that we don't really grow very fast. So you end up stagnating because people look at you and people don't really see that executive presence in you. They look at you and they say, oh, this is a college kid and he probably doesn't have the gravitas